This question is asking us about matrix operations and specifically multiplication, which can be somewhat involved, but hopefully we can see how to make this a little bit easier. It says, given the matrix multiplication below, what value of x satisfies the equation? So matrices are just a way to organize values. And one thing, just as extra information we want to consider, is that all matrices are arranged, their dimensions are arranged in rows by columns. So how many rows does this first matrix have? It has 2. How many columns does it have? 3. So this is a 2 by 3. And our second matrix, how many rows does it have? 1, 2, 3. How many columns? 1, 2. So it's a 3 by 2. So again, arrange rows by columns. One thing that has to happen is the number of columns in your first matrix has to match the number of rows in your second matrix in order for matrix multiplication to be possible. All right, so in this case that works. And then the resulting matrix, the product, is the dimensions are the rows of the first matrix and the columns of the second. And we can see that, right? There's 2 rows here and 2 columns here. So this is a 2 by 2. All right, so then I like to use this product to help us get to the answer. If I was going to rewrite this matrix and just describe its position, what position is this 26 in? Well, it's in row 1, column 1. So I'll put R1, C1. What position is that 16 in? It's in row 2, column 1. So row 2, column 1. And then the -8 is in row 1, column 2. And the 11 is in row 2, column 2. Okay, so that kind of gives us a blueprint for the multiplication we're asked to do. And in this case, the value we want to solve for is right here, x. So that's in row 1. And we can use row 1 for either of these options to help us figure this out. But I'm just going to use row 1, column 1. So row 1, column 1. That tells me what I need to multiply. And it also tells me what it should equal, which is that 26 right there. So here's how you multiply matrices. You take everything in the row and you multiply it by each element in the column and you add those pieces. So it looks like this. The 3x gets multiplied by the 1. And then we're going to add to that the next piece. 4 gets multiplied by 5. Plus -2 gets multiplied by 3. Okay, so that was everything in row 1 multiplied by everything in column 1. And that's going to equal our result in that position, row 1, column 1, which is that 26. Okay, so now we have everything we need to solve. So let's just simplify this. 3x times 1 is 3x. 4 times 5 is 20. -2 times 3 is -6. And that all needs to equal 26. Let's simplify our left side by combining like terms. So 3x, 20 minus 6 is 14, is equal to 26. Now we're just trying to get x by itself. Let's subtract 14. And that gives us 3x is equal to 26 minus 14 is 12. Last thing we need to do to get that x by itself is to divide by 3. And that gives us x is equal to 4. So after setting row 1, column 1 equal to what we knew its value was, we solved for x, and that gave us x equals 4, which we can find in selection K.